This is Matt, and this will be a video on securing your WordPress login page. So WordPress uses a wp-login URL. If you're not familiar, this is the page that you essentially log into when you actually enter your username and password on WordPress. So what I will be doing, so you know the ins and outs if you're watching this video on security best practices as far as making sure that that page is secure. It's essentially an entryway that so hackers and malware can gain access to your WordPress site. So to the extent that you do have hackers and malware, which you do, you know, WordPress is a massive attack vector because there's so many plugins and stuff and different themes and different plugins. It's not as secure as something like a JavaScript framework. So WordPress is risky, so we want to secure that login page. So how do we do this? Well, I'm on my Cloudflare account here. Now, this is the way that I recommend you actually secure your WordPress login page. There's different ways of doing it. There's different WordPress plugins you can use. I think that they are not as secure as this method. So I'll show you this method. What I will do now is I will click on filmlifestyle.com. So this is a WordPress site that I have on Cloudflare. Now, what you will need to do to actually find these settings that I highly recommend is you'll come down to security on the sidebar here, and then we'll click on security rules. Two rules, you'll see a number of different rules I've added. These are the standard ones I have for all WordPress sites that I currently have. I don't just have WordPress sites, but the ones that are WordPress, I use these rules. So I'm just going to show you these top two rules here. So these rules are worth looking into. And this is securing the wp-config PHP file, and this one is securing another file right here, which is often used in different hacks and malware through WordPress. So the two that we're going to look at, so I'll open both of these in separate tabs. So we've got block non-UK login attempts. Now, what this rule does is it won't let anyone actually hit the wp-login.php page. That is the admin page for actually logging in and putting your username and password in. It won't allow anyone to access that page unless they are in fact from the UK, from Great Britain. So the reason why I've got this, and I'll show you this rule in detail here. The reason why I've got this essentially is that I'm in Britain and I will only access my WordPress site in Britain. So just by having this rule and having this GB, essentially it's an IP block, a geo IP block for anything other than GB, anything other than Great Britain. So people who aren't from the UK, they won't be able to even access this page. So what I find is this immediately cuts down on all sorts of nefarious bad actors, most of which, not all, but most of which won't be coming from Great Britain. Now, all this does is allows me to log in and will block everything, you know, from China, Singapore, Ukraine, wherever these kind of bad actors are coming from, these hackers and these malware bots. It won't allow those to visit. Now, this isn't perfect because obviously there might be bad actors in Great Britain, but that is the low-hanging fruit, and that immediately secures it. You can see that just in the last 24 hours, 556 have actually been blocked who aren't from the UK. So they've literally tried to access this page on my site, 556 just in the last 24 hours. Now you'll see this other rule that I have, which is even more robust. So that's the kind of first, the first line of defense. And then number two right here, this is the kind of more robust, the final kind of little fortress, I guess. So this one has actually protected the site against over 4,000 attempts just in the last 24 hours. So this is really worth doing, and it's worth securing. So I will show you this one. So all of these I will put down in the I'll put these in the description below this video so you can check it out. But essentially you're going to use this expression and you'll put that there. You'll choose block for this one, so that will literally just you can have like things like JS challenge, which I'll show you in just a moment, but this one will just block anyone who isn't from Great Britain. Now, if you are not in Great Britain, you're going to obviously want something different. You might want to have USA here, or whatever the abbreviation is for the geo IP block in a country other than the one that you're in. So obviously if I left the UK and I wanted to log into WordPress, I'd have to change this in Cloudflare, but that doesn't happen too often, as most of the time I don't log into WordPress from anywhere abroad. So this just protects me. You will put your own country in here. The more, sort of relatively secure your country is from a sort of cybersecurity perspective, the better this is here. Again, it's not perfect. Nothing in cybersecurity will ever be completely perfect and foolproof. Now, the other one I recommend is this one right here. So this one is the second rule. This is the kind of catch-all, the final line. It's not the final line of defense, but it's another line of defense, I should say. So this one I've called block WP login abuse. So we are selecting two URI paths here. We have wp-login, which is the one previously, .php, and we also have this wp-admin/admin.ajax, admin/ajax.php. So this is protecting the admin page from abuse and the login page. And the expression that we've got here is this one, right here. So again, I will include that one below in the video description. And what I've used here is I've used JS challenge. So what this will do, rather than an outright block, this will present a JavaScript challenge to the browser. And if it's a human browser, like a genuine human browser in general, the browser will pass that challenge. It will present, it will request JavaScript and will pass the challenge. Whereas most bots, in general, again, not foolproof, but sort of 99% of the time, whatever we want to say, that challenge will not be able to be passed by the bot, and therefore they will be stopped from abusing either of these two pages. And like I say, you can see just from these stats, I mean, Filmmaking Lifestyle is quite a big site, we get a lot of traffic, but you see just in the last 24 hours, like over 4,000, that was over a weekend as well, but over 4,000 attempts to get to those pages essentially have been met with a JS challenge, which would have stopped them doing whatever nefarious actions they were going to do. And might not always be nefarious, but those kind of bots and those kind of malware are the ones who we're looking to stop. So I'll do another video on these two rules here. They aren't quite as significant. These are the two main ones, hence they're at the top. The order of priority is important here, as it has a kind of hierarchy as far as what it will do first. But hopefully you found this video on securing your WP login page and actually your WP admin in general, your WordPress admin. Hopefully you found this video useful. If you have, drop this video a like and subscribe to the channel for more videos just like this.